Hey golf people, on today's episode, I'm going to take you through my entire bag. I guess it's high time I've done this. I've avoided doing it for quite some time because I'm like, listen, who cares what's inside my bag? But we just hit 1 million downloads thanks to you guys and your support. We're near around 7,000 subscribers. So I guess it's time I take you through my bag, show you what I'm working with, all the electronics, the golf balls, the accessories, and of course the clubs that we use. And you'll know exactly what I'm doing out here on course. Let's get to it. Now I know you want to get in and see the clubs, but first things first. As you know, I'm doing these videos on course and I'm generally walking in the mornings. Wednesday morning is my day to shoot. I walk around with this beautiful cart that I've had for a couple of years. My wife gave it to me as a Father's Day present. It's called the Voki by Click Gear. I want to say she bought this for like $189. And these things, once the pandemic hit and walking became very fashionable, these things skyrocketed in price. I think they're almost maybe $400 almost, somewhere between $300 and $400 to get one of these. But I love it. I think this is like the Mercedes of carts because it folds up super small. It's a little dirty right now because I've literally been shooting all morning. It's got all sorts of compartments. You can hold your tees there. I've got a bunch of gear and stuff here in this compartment. It's got a little umbrella clip right here that you can screw in, so if it rains, like it does a lot of times here in Florida. I've taken it off, but it also has a cup holder accessory that goes right here. Just a nice little piece of gear that I love. All right, now let's go inside the bag here and see what we're working with. All right, so on this outside pocket, again, I am often playing here in the mornings. It's Florida, it's super humid, so I've got my beautiful little Yeti. Got a couple of scorecards in there from Whistling Straits. If we open up this pocket here, we got some nice items in here. This is the rangefinder that I use. It is the Garmin Z82, a lovely device. By the way, I get all my golf technology, all this Garmin stuff and everything I play with at playbetter.com. I highly recommend you do too. These guys love golf. They have the best prices on the internet and they'll work with you. They've got a great easy return policy and much, much more. All right, so this is my Garmin Z82. I love this rangefinder because it literally gives me a map of the hole inside of here. This is not just a piece of glass, not a lens. This is literally a camera. And what happens is you look through the viewfinder here and you'll see a map of the course. And it's really useful for me. I do a lot of traveling and I'm playing courses I've never played before. It gives me yardages to all of the different hazards, the water, the bunkers, everything that I might come across on course. And then it gives you a nice little haptic feedback when you hit the flag and much more. It's just a really nice device. It's not cheap, but for me, someone who travels a lot, I absolutely love this device. As we work our way into the second pocket here, I've got a couple of things that I use out here on course. Another piece of technology here is my Garmin G80. This gives me not only GPS yardages, but I also measure my shots. And in addition to that, I've got a launch monitor, which I love. I even play games with this thing out on the range. You've got target practice and some other features. It's nice. You can see it's a smaller form factor. It's smaller than my iPhone even. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Then the next thing here is I've got the Arcos Link. I just started playing with the Arcos Caddy system. Just unlocked my 5 rounds, by the way. So we're gonna do a video very soon here on the channel. But what this is the little link. And this little link goes on my belt clip. I clip it right to my belt here. And it tracks all my shots. It does that through sound. There's actually a microphone in here. And that's how it knows when you actually hit a shot. It's a pretty ingenious little piece of tech. One other piece of gear that sits on my wrist is the Garmin S62. What I love about this watch is it actually has a virtual caddy built into it. It's got 40,000 plus courses loaded and it's just light and nice and pretty stylish as well. I've done a ton of videos on the Garmin, which I will link here. There will be links below to all of this equipment that we're looking at. All right, if we go to the balls here, this is the official ball of Let's Play Thru. And where's the logo? There it is. It's the Encore Elixir. You can buy these at Encore with our logo on it. Help support the show. It's a fantastic ball for $34.99. I highly, highly recommend you check it out. That's the official ball. That's the ball that I play here on course. I'll play this and I'll sometimes play the Vero X1 from Encore as well. but that one's got our logo, and I really like using this little guy. It's got great distance, great feel. For a ball with 80 compression, it's really, really long, and it's very forgiving too. It almost course corrects sometimes up in the air, it looks like. I really like what it does. All right, so that does it for like technology and accessories and whatnot, but this is probably what you came to see. These are the clubs that I'm using right now. I think there'll be a couple in here that might surprise you, and it might surprise you that I've sort of got a hodgepodge of a bag. Let me show you. I don't think it's any surprise that I chose the Sim2 this year. This is the regular Sim2. I've got it adjusted here to give me a little bit more loft, so I'm playing it more like 9.5. But this is the regular Sim2, not the Max or anything like that. The regular Sim2. By the way, if you care about shafts, I'm playing the Tensei 60-gram stiff flex. I really like it. And I've got a medium grip on this club. Right now, I'm probably averaging about 260 with the driver. My 3-wood is not a TaylorMade, it's actually a Ping. The Let's Play Thru golf people, you chose it. This is the Ping G425. I tested a bunch of 3-woods. We did a little poll and we tested a lot of 3-woods this year. I gotta say, I am loving this club. I'm hitting it about 235. Oftentimes dead straight. It almost goes, it's crazy, but it almost goes as far as my driver sometimes. I love the trajectory. I love this counterbalanced shaft. This is the Alta CB. That CB stands for counterbalanced, and this is a 65-gram stiff shaft. Absolute stunner right there. All right, we're gonna move on to my hybrid here, and it might surprise you. This is the oldest club in my bag now, after I changed the 3-wood this year. But it's a great example that I don't have any brand loyalty. I play the best club for me, for that category, and I don't care what brand is on it. This is my hybrid. It's red, very unique color. This is the Wilson Staff C300. I don't even know what kind of shaft is on it because I just hit it at a golf shop a couple years back and I bought it. I loved it. But it's a Fujikura 78H Pro Stiff Flex. All right, nice red, ruby red club. People always ask me about this club. It glows nicely there in the sun. I hit this hybrid, I'd say about 215. Is kind of what the distance that I'm going for. I can hit it really anywhere from about 195 to 220, but we'll call it 215 is kind of an average for this club. What I love about it is I'm just very consistent with this club. Sometimes I feel like I can just do no wrong. So if I'm in a tough position, I just need to get out. I need to either draw the ball, fade the ball. I need to get out of trouble, out of a fairway bunker. I'm going with the C300. Very easy, very nice to hit. Moving on to the irons. These are the Mizuno MP20 HMBs. A beautiful, beautiful set. So forgiving, guys. Maybe not the longest clubs that exist, but they're very forgiving. I am not always hitting pure contact. Listen, I'm a 5 handicap. So like you, I'll have my fair share of chunks, of thins, of toe jobs, of hitting them all over the club face. And these are so very, very forgiving. I absolutely adore these things. Now here's the thing about these. They look just like a blade. Like my old MP33s, they look very similar to that. But literally, they're hollow inside there. This is kind of like a cavity back meets a blade. It's got the look of a blade, the forgiveness of a cavity back, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. On my irons, I have the Dynamic Gold 120 stiff, okay? Pretty stiff, pretty heavy actually. I like a little weight on it. And there you go, we got the Arcos grips there as well. And they do not have a gap wedge in this set. So I play 4 through pitching wedge with the MP20 HMBs. All right, now let's get into the scoring clubs, the clubs that really matter. I get up and down a lot. That's my game. I'm not flashy as a golfer. I don't hit a ton of greens in regulation. A lot of times I'm chipping up, but I'm really good at that. And I'm making par more times than I probably should because I've got great equipment that helps me and I practice it. All right, so I play the Voki Sm8 Wedges. This first one is 50-degree F grind, 8 degrees of bounce. I use this as about a 115 club, and I can hit it anywhere from about 95 yards to 115, I'd say. That's where I like to use this. Anything under 95, or maybe even 90, I'm switching over to my 54. Now the 54 is, what is that, 12 degrees of bounce. This is a D grind. Again, just a beautiful club. I'll use that out of the sand. Now the reason I use 50 and then go to 54 is really for gapping. Okay, I feel like that matches my pitching wedge, which is at 46. So I've only got 4 degrees of separation from all my wedges when that happens. And then I've got 58 here. Now my 58 degree is 8 degrees of bounce, and it's an M grind. All of these grinds are somewhere in between. These are not like tour grinds necessarily. You'll see a lot of M grinds on tour, but more of like an all-weather, all-condition type of grind. Okay, so really love my Voki wedges. They get me out of so much trouble. Now, I'm a person who probably changes putters more than I should, but this putter has stayed in my bag now for over a year. I am absolutely in love with this putter. There's so many good things I could say about it, but this is a putter you may or may not have heard of. It's definitely not one you're gonna find in a big box store. It's called a Sax Parente. Let me pull it out for you so you can see the name there. Sax Parente. This is their Series 66. It's actually got a graphite shaft on it, and that is because they've got a ton of different types of metals in here. Tungsten, steel, everything. It allows the balance point of this club to be way, 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 way near the face. Okay, do you see that? Test it with your club. I bet your club will be up here. 6-7 inches up the shaft is where it will balance, up here somewhere. This one balances here, and that's, the point of that is just to get a pendulum-like motion so that if you miss a putt, it's more to do with speed than direction. It's not a cheap putter, but it's a beautiful putter. It gives me a lot of confidence, especially with 3-4 footers, and I absolutely love it. So that's all the clubs that are in my bag. There are a couple other things I carry in my bag. Let me show you what those are. All right, I switched cameras here, and the reason I did is because this is often found in my bag. This is my Sony A7s3. Beautiful camera. We film a lot of vlogs with this one. I also use the phone that I'm using right now to shoot. I film with my iPhone 12 Max a lot. And I use the Shot Tracer app. A lot of people ask me, how do I get the shot traces? I use the Shot Tracer app. It's actually a Macintosh application. It's also an application for phones, both Android and iPhone. And that's how I get the shot traces. But this is how I get those really nice course vlogs, as well as equipment reviews. This is my little baby here. I was a Panasonic man for a while, and then I switched here to Sony. This is the lens I carry around most often. It's a f4 for all you camera geeks, 24-105. It has OSS, which stands for optical image stabilization. That's just so it's not, as I'm walking, the camera's bouncing, but this adjusts for it. The lens actually has adjustments for all that bouncing so that we're not looking like we're in the Blair Witch Project. I've got a Rode wireless microphone system. This is called the Rode Wireless Go attached to it. And let me show you the other side of this. This is the little microphone here. Sometimes I'll actually have a lavalier hooked up to that, but today I just have it clipped to my shirt. I'll often sometimes have more of a shotgun mic attached to this camera, but today we're going wireless. Sound is so important in video. You've probably noticed on YouTube that bad quality video you can probably get past, but bad quality audio is a no-go. So we always try to have really good audio on this show whenever possible, unless it's windy and it's raining and planes go by and mowers and all that, but we do the best we can. All right, guys, so hopefully that gives you a little insight into what's inside this YouTuber's bag and how I get around the course. I love doing these vlogs for you, and I love showing you the equipment and the technology, and I hope you get a kick out of it too. I really appreciate all your support as we hit 1 million views, as we are about to cross 7,000 subscribers and hopefully 10,000 very soon. Really appreciate all the support you guys lend, and I hope you have a good one. Hope you hit them straight. And if you have any questions about gear, I'm happy to help them. We'll be doing a live stream really soon on the channel where you can ask me all the questions you want live. But in the meantime, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, if you had any surprises about what's in my bag, or if you've got any questions of your own. I'll catch you next time on another edition of Let's Play Thru.